structure into a particular function. So we can define structure only one time and we can print it many times. So when the function can be called more than one time, it can be called 1000 times, the values can be print 1000 times accordingly to the function, as structure can be passed as a particular function method. Okay, so in the next point we are using structure with pointer. This is a very important point, because why there is a need of pointer. First of all, I want to explain you something about pointer. In the last section we had discussed about pointer, why pointer is necessity. Pointer is a very useful keyword which is used to represent a point a particular memory location. Suppose we are having a screen, and in that screen we are having different memory locations, and we want to fetch that memory location. When we have talked about array, so we have to pass the whole array and we have to assign. In that program what we had done, we had assigned 50 values. We had in the earlier program we had assigned 50 values, but we are printing only how many values? We are printing only 2 values. So we are wasting 48 memory locations. So by wasting a 48 memory location, it is just damaging the whole memory. We are not utilizing the maximum memory of that of the particular system. So our program will take more memory, and that memory can be not used. So we are going for a garbage values, and we are putting these memory locations into a garbage collection values. Okay, so by using a particular pointer, we can say that we can point these memory location individually. So these pointer can be used with a structure. So in that point we can pass a structure template, and we can point this structure template into a particular variables, so we can access these values accordingly. So for the better use or better utilization of memory, we use structure with pointer. The structure the pointer variables of a struct type name is created, then the structure member through the pointer can be used in two ways. We are having two ways to fetch these values. First is representing a pointer and by allocating an address. What I had told you earlier, that our pointer is pointing a memory location, and when it is pointing a memory location, it has to represent a memory cell. Then the another way is using dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation is a theme which is used at the time when we are putting a values, when we are allocating a values at the runtime. So we are having memory allocation, that is malloc, to represents dynamic memory allocations. We are having an example for dynamic memory allocations, that is hash include studio .h struct name int a float b. Okay, so this is an example which represents a pointer, and we are passing a particular reference of that pointer to the particular structure. So when we are passing the reference to a structure, we can individually point this structure with a pointer. So we are having a structure name, and we are using int a and float b. We are having two values, that is a and b. A is of integer type, b is of float type, with structure name. Then int main struct name. In the struct name we are using one pointer, that is ptr, and one variables which is used for passing a reference. Then ptr equals to address of p. So what we are doing that we are sending the reference of a pointer to memory address of p. So ptr is a pointer which is having showing that address of p variables. Then printf enter integer. When we are entering an integer, then scanf %d address of ptr dot a. This is very important. We have to represent that ptr into the enclosed braces. Okay, we have to define this ptr in that enclosed braces with dot product, that is dot a. Then printf enter number, that is the floating type number, and we are printing pointer to b. Then we are using printf displaying. When we are displaying, printf address %d %f and ptr.a ptr.b. So what will happen when we are displaying the values of a and b? It will display the address, the address where these values are stored. Suppose you are storing these values in your system, it can print a different value in your system, and if you are storing these values into your college system, then it will print different values, because here we are including the storage address. We are not including the particular variable value or something constant values, but we are including an address. Then if you are storing these particular program into your C drive or D drive, so each and every drive we are having different addresses. Maybe in your home you are storing this type of program into C drive, and maybe in your college you are storing this type of values in that D drive. So when you are storing two different drives, you will having two different address values. So in the next point, we are using dynamic memory allocations. In the dynamic memory allocations, to access the structure member using pointers, memory can be allocated dynamically using malloc function. We are having malloc function. Malloc function represents the memory allocation which is defined in the stdlib.h. We are having standard library.h is the header file which is used to represent malloc, calloc, free and flush. So we are having different structures for the allocation of memory. Okay, then syntax to use malloc. Malloc means memory allocation. So we can represent the whole memory block, and we can represent the whole allocation of that particular memory by using an pointer. We can allocate the memory, and we can point that memory address, and we can fetch these values of that address. So ptr is a pointer, equals to cast type. Cast type is the name of the structure, then it is of pointer type. Then malloc byte size. Byte size represents that how many size can be used to allocate a memory. Suppose if you want to allocate a memory and we want to make a program into 4 bytes, so the 4 bytes can be represent and 4 byte can be allocated for that particular structure. So structure maximum size is of 4 byte. It cannot be exceed than 4 byte. We can particular define the size of that structure itself. Then program, we are having a program C. Hash include studio.h, hash include std lib.h. lib.h means we are using malloc. Struct name int a, float b, character array is having C30. So when we are printing the values, int main, the int is the return type of the main function. Struct name ptr int I comma n, printf enter name, we are printing the particular name. Then scanf %d and n, then we are printing the values of n. ptr equals to struct name. Struct name means name is a structure. Okay, name is a type of a name of structure. Then memory allocation, that is malloc, n. If n is equal to 2, then size of struct name. Then the size of struct name represents that what is the actual size of a name structure. Then the above statement allocates the memory for n structures with pointer ptr, okay, then pointing to the base address. So we are using size of structure. Suppose we are having a size of structure of 8 byte, and suppose n is equals to 2, then the structure can be called more than one time, that is of 2 times, that is twice. And when the structure variable is calling twice, then the structure is of having 8 bytes. So it is calling twice, then definitely 8 into 2, it is 16 bytes. Then the total size will becomes 16 bytes. Okay. So in that program we are using for I equals to 0, I is less than n. We are using a for loop to print those two values, and we are printing enter string, integer and floating number respectively. Then scanf, we are scanning all these values, scanf %s, %d, %f, and address of ptr I for C, address of ptr that is plus I for A, then address of ptr plus I for B. I represents a particular array. Okay, then printf displaying information. Similar way we are using for loop and we are printing all these values will return 0. Then what happens when we are printing? Suppose what we have done, n equals to 2 and we are entering string, integer and floating number respectively. So for the string we are using programming. 2 is the integer values, 3.2 is the floating numbers. Then enter string, then it will print for the second time because n is equals to 2. For first it is printing all these values, for second it will print again these values. Then enter string, integer and floating number respectively. We are using the second string structure, then integer number 6 and floating time number 2.3. Then when we are displaying the informations, we can display those two values at the same time, because we are allocating memory at runtime, not at the static time. So pointer represents here, pointer points these values and it can be print these values. So pointer is very useful. It can print many values of a particular structures where we are using, where we are needing to print it. Okay. Then the next point is union. Union is just like as structures. Union can be defined where the users define the data types and somewhat is similar to the structures, as they also contains the member of different data types. So we are having a union and we are having a structure. In that structure, each and every individual data type represents its own memory allocation. But in the case of union, we are having a particular memory allocation which is assigned for whole union, not for the individual data variables. So we are having benefit in union. We can represent, we can save the memory and we can go for the fast running of your program also. So what is a union is? Only difference is that all members in the union share the same storage area in the computer memory, while each member in the structure is assigned to its own unique storage. As we had seen that in the structure, each and every individual variables is having their own storage values. Since the members of union share the same memory, only one member can be activated at a time. Only one member can be activated in the union, where in the case of structure all the variables can be activated at the same time. Thus union are useful as the efficient use of computer's memory. They are useful in cases where you have to include multiple members, providing the values needed not to assign to all members at only at one time. We have to assign the memory to only for one member at a time in the case of union. So syntax is there, no much difference, is same as your structure. Then union name, data type, member 1, member 2, member 3 and many members, then curly braces, then variable 1 and variable 2 with a semicolon. We are including an example. We are having union book, character title, integer pages, price, B1, B2, B3. 3 books are there. We are having B1, B2, B3, 3 books, and we are representing a union, where in the case of structure what is there, B1, B2, B3 can be independently stored, can be independently used to store values in the memory area. But in the case of union, all 3 will combine and they will use only one memory allocation. So in then program, hash include studio.h, union job, defining a union. Okay, then character name 32, float salary, int work number, u is the variable. Then we are having a structure same that is of union type. Then structure struct job 1, character name, float salary, int worker number. So what we are defining, I want to give you an example so that you can identify where the union is helpful and better than structure. Then int main printf size of union, we are printing the size of a union, %d, then the size of u. Size of u means union variable. Size of is an operator which is used to calculate the memory size which is utilized by a particular variables. We are passing a variable, that is u, which represents a union. Okay, then printf the size of structure %d, then the size of s, return 0. So what it will print? It will print the memory allocation or the memory utilized by a union or a structure. How many bytes can be utilized by a union or structure? So what output we will get? Definitely the same thing what I was telling you, that the union is more efficient and it can be used for lesser memory storage area. Then the size of union equals to 32, then the size of structure equals to 40. Now we are having basic difference between union and structures. Our first difference is all the members in the union share the same storage area in the computer memory. Each member in the structure is assigned to its own unique storage area. We are not having a single storage area in the structure, but we are having a unique storage area of whole union in the union case. Then the second point is allocates the memory equals to the maximum memory required by the member. So what happens in the union, where the variables which are defined in the union, and when the maximum value is assigned to a particular variable, that memory address is assigned for all the members in the union. In the case of structure, allocates the memory equal to the total memory required by all the members. So when the total we are calculating, so always the total becomes very large than the particular union. Suppose in the union we are including only the values which is assigned for a single variables, and this structure we have to include the whole variables to accommodate or to calculate the memory. So in that structure, all the variables independently having their memory, and we are summing out of all the variables and we are getting the maximum values. But in the case of union, we have to check what the maximum values can be assigned to a particular variable, and we will